Now we've been all over how to use the built-in effects. Let's talk about how to use external effects. Now if you have a rack effect that you really want to still use, I have a PCM42 that is kind of a classic piece of gear that I like to use. It's a mono delay line, so I'm going to use that as the example here. And the way that you use a delay is you use the aux outputs. Now you could use stereo aux outputs if you have a stereo effect, but normally you'd use a mono aux output to drive a delay. And if it's a stereo effect, you'd bring it back into two channels, or you can bring it back connecting its outputs to aux input A and B. The nice thing about using these aux inputs is that they're stereo. So if you have a stereo effect, you can connect the left and right channels, and then you can control it right here. Now when I'm running sound for a show, I really like to have that effect, particularly my slapback echo, right on a channel because it makes it a lot easier to ride it, because you can really affect the performance a lot by being able to take that echo out and bring it in at the end of a phrase. It also gives you the quick ability to slide that out, take it off when the artist is talking. So if you have enough channels, and if you haven't got enough channels, then you need one of these 32 channel boards. It gives you a little more breathing room to use channels for something like effects. So the way that you'd patch in the effect is to take the aux output. I like to use the high aux outputs, and then I would patch those into the effect, the output from the back of the board to the input of the effect, and then from the output of the effect back into the channel that you want to use. Now the thing about effects is typically you want them to be post-fader, unlike your monitors. So if we go over to the system and we page down right here to this page, this allows you to set pre and post. Now normally you use pre for monitors, but normally we'd use post for effects. So I'm patched into output number 14 for this PCM42, so I'm going to change this one here to post. Really what that will do for you is if you turn that channel down, it will also turn the effect down with it. So if we ride back on the lead vocalist, we don't still get delay coming into the mix, which makes the most sense for running external effects. So with that set up that way, we've got this configured. Now to add a little of this delay in, we just, first of all, we have to have the output knob up to drive to the effect, but then mixing works just the same way as with the built-in effects. We hit the mix button, and then we dial in with the encoders how much of this effect that we want to get into that mix. So I'm going to turn that off. We'll play back a little bit, and then I'll set up over here on the PCM the basic delay. It has a very unique character, which I kind of like. So I'll just play around with those settings. You can see how I'm operating the external unit, and then we'll get some of this mixed in on the lead vocal.
Very first time, but put it on me now. I don't want to go back to my solitary town. Breath at a time. I breathe in one breath at a time. In it all feels like the very first time, but put it on me now. I don't want to go back to my solitary town. Breath at a time. I breathe in one breath at a time. In it all feels like the very first time, but put it on me now. I don't want to go back to my solid.
So that gives you an idea of how you use external effects. Basically you mix them in, you patch them in using aux outs, usually set to post, and then you can run the output of the effect back into a channel and then ride that channel for a creative effect, which is the kind of the way I like to do it. Alternatively, you can use the aux inputs A or B as your effects returns, especially on the smaller boards if you just don't have enough channels to spare. So that's how you use your external effects with the Studio Live AI series boards. Thanks for watching.